सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः, ऋषिभ्यो नमः, मुनिभ्यो नमः, गुरुभ्यो नमः, देवताभ्यो नमः। वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकराचार्यवर्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री भारती मात्रे नमः। Today being the 75th anniversary of Swatantra Bharatam. 1947 we got freedom. Today is 2022, August 15. We will be just saluting our Bharata Mata with the national anthem seated only. Hope nobody should object it. We are just on the Vyaspeeta. Therefore, we are always reverential, respectful to our mother Bharati. So, with the folded hands, we can do our Indamana only, the hoisting of flag, as well as through the chanting of this national anthem, Jatiya Geetam. We salute to the India Bharat Mata, which has given us the place to stay. ॐ जनगणमनधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। वंदे भारत मातरम वंदे भारत मातरम वंदे भारत मातरम। Salutations to Mother India. In our today's Upanishad class, our chanting will be starting from Pranava Upasana and the entire thing. This will be chanted today twice. One because part of the Parayanam, second because of the part of the study. Bring your mind's attention with all the Shraddha possible. Enjoy that chant. Om Atha कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद पारायणम् ओम ओमिति ब्रह्म ओमितीदगं सर्वम् ओमित्येतदनुकृतिः स्म वा अप्यो श्रावयेत्याश्रावयन्ति ओमिति सामानि गायन्ति ओगं शोमिति शस्त्राणि शगंसन्ति ओमित्यध्वर्युः प्रतिगरं प्रतिगृणाति ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मण प्रवक्षन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानेते ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति ऋतं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च तपश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च दमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च शमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्नयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्निहोत्रं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च मानुषं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यमिति सत्यमिति सत्यवचाराथीतरः तप इति तपो नित्यपौरुषिष्ठिः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति नाको मौद्गल्यः तद्दितपस्तद्दितपः अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिः पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगं सवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति त्रिशङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनं वेदमनोच्चाचार्योऽन्ते वासिनमनुशास्ते सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं कुशलान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यै न प्रमदितव्यं स्वाध्याय प्रवचनाभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं देवपितृकार्याभ्यां न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव यान्यनवद्यानि कर्माणि तानि सेवितव्यानि नो इतराणि यान्यस्माकं सुचरितानि तानि त्वयोपास्यानि नो इतराणि ये के चास्मच्छ्रेयागंसो ब्राह्मणाः तेषां त्वयासनेन प्रश्वसितव्यं श्रद्धया ध्येयम् अश्रद्धया अध्येयं श्रिया ध्येयं ह्रिया ध्येयं भिया ध्येयं संविदा ध्येयम् अथ यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्तविचिकित्सा वा स्यात् ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तत्र वर्तेरन् तथा तत्र वर्तेथाः अथाभ्याख्यातेषु ये तत्र ब्राह्मणाः सम्मर्षिणः युक्ता आयुक्ताः अलोक्षा धर्मकामाः स्युः यथा ते तेषु वर्तेरन् तथा तेषु वर्तेथाः एष आदेशः एष उपदेशः एषा वेदोपनिषत् एतदनुशासनम् एवमुपासितव्यम् एवमुचैतदुपास्यम् शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत तद्वक्तारमावीत आवीन्माम् आवीद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय शाखांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्दार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। ओम अत प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ओम शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Salutations to the Lord in all forms, to the Rishis, Munis, Gurus, Devatas. Salutations to the Parabrahma Tattva. Salutations to the Shruti Mata. Salutations to the Veda Vyasa Vaishampayana, Yagnavalkya, Adi Shankara, and our own Puja Guru Parampara. Three things today we will see are: first one, the importance of today's day, that is Bharata Varsha 75th anniversary of independence. So many things, so many people go on talking today about independent India and all that. There are so many big medhavis, jnanis, etc. We talk only about two or three things. The first thing is, every country's greatness, grandness, glory depends on its own culture, its own tradition, its own values, wisdoms that that country is specially carrying from the time it has its history. Every country has their own, whether the countries are made couple of years back or 50 years back, 100 years back, but some or the other culture they might be definitely having. And as they hold on to the tradition and culture, provided that is very good, in course of time that becomes their national pride. So to our Bharata Mata is ancient, right from the beginning of creation. Bharata Mata is there. Our culture tradition is only mainly spiritual. There is a zero of materialism in our culture of Bharata Mata. There is no concept of bhoga buddhi or bhautikavada. For us, we are divine, all are divine, everything is divine. The goal is divine, the means is divine. It's all our Aryan culture, the Rishi Parampara verses. The Rishi Muni, they are the ones who are the main ones to guide. Of course, the country has its Raja, the Praja, they doing all their vrittis, pravrittis according to their Varna and Ashrama. But yet, at the same time, everybody's ultimate goal is Paramatma Prapti only. Gaining towards that only, they were doing their Varna and Ashrama Sambandita variety of duties. Therefore, that day where again this beautiful Rishi culture of through the Shastra, when one aims at the ultimate truth as the goal and gears up all other activities towards that, even though the world is moving so fast in the various other worldly fields, the technical fields, the Vyavahara field, the worldly fields, the whole world is going so fast ahead. ये तो चलता रहेगा. Each history, each period has its own this type of external Bhautika Jagat's improvement because of involvement of so many scientists. This is not new. But last few 50 years, it has taken up a rocket speed. That's the only difference. But in spite of that, if we can by some way, starting from the government and every one of us, convey to ourselves, convey to each other, convey to everybody, especially the youth, that Bharat Mata stands for the spiritual culture, spiritual tradition, spiritual goal. We are more of inner nivritta along with the pravritti outside. We never give up the nivritti marga of Paramatma for the sake of pravritti. We at many a times, all the time, we strike balance between both of them. That is why all our Vedas have both pravritti of the Yajnayaga and also the nivritti of the Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita tells about the pravritti of fighting the yuddha and nivritti again of the Vedanta of all the chapters containing that knowledge. Any of our Shastras you see, any of our great avatars you see, they did pravritti, at the same time they become nivritta. Any of the great rishis, munis, through nivritti they reach Paramatma. But after that, they took up to pravritti and have spread this knowledge of Paramatma to the masses, either by having satsangs, talks, and or establishing the ashramas, or at least by writing the books, etc. So too our great Rajas, Maharajas, they were all vigorous in their pravritti, conquered so many kingdoms, became Samrat, Chakravarti, but they found their fulfillment only when their pravritti was complemented with the nivritti, spirituality. In today's world, in our country also, pravritti is becoming very prevalent. People are not enjoying the other aspect of nivritti. Nivritti is not laziness. Nivritti is not a retirement. Nivritti is withdrawal of our faculties from the worldly involvement and using them, focusing them to the spiritual unfoldment, in which the ultimate goal is I, with my all faculties, have become nivritta, dissolved back to my own source called as self, just like the river starting from the ocean as a cloud falls in mountains, and through the flow slowly comes and finally merges back to its own ocean, original status called as the ocean. That is called the nivritti of the river. In the same way, the Indian tradition culture talks about the vigorous contribution to the world, same time not compromising with the inner spiritual unfoldment. And then the day our pravritti starts, the very same day our nivritti also should start, so that one doesn't take position too much at the cost of the other. If this thing is rebrought by any of the policies, by the constitution, by the government, by the education institutes, everything, I believe really we have claimed to be the true Bharatiyas. True Sanatana Dharmins, true Bharatiyas. This can be our true tribute to our Vande Bharata Mataram, because she has given her lap for us to stay. She has given her hand for us to hold on to as support. She has given her feet to us for us to surrender, so that we are relentlessly. One side is grateful, second is proud, third is always supported, fourth is inspired to live a great, grand, noble life. Mind you, if the details are taken up, whether somebody accepts or not, in the entire scheme of universe, how many of the countries they may be, great in so many aspects, but traditionally, culturally, spiritually, value-based way, and its own past and anciency, seeing all these things as criteria, there is no country more greater, richer than all these than our Bharata Mata. That we have to always keep in mind and keep on promoting it and telling to our children, etc. Every school is doing that work very efficiently, especially in this Vajrotsava, Amrutotsava. Schools must have definitely done sufficiently. Don't know about the colleges, etc., because of pandemic, whether they could focus or not. The government was going on saying, but how much even the individual at their family level or at the office level understood the glory of Bharata Mata, developed their respect or not, but this should not be a day's affair. Today we have done it, then again forgot till 100th year comes. तब तक हम रहेंगे कि नहीं पता, लेकिन that can be much more glorious, greater than this Amrutotsava. So, point is what for our nation stands. What are the roots of our nation? Those roots have to be properly watered, so that the nation flourishes, becomes support to all other countries, inspiration to other countries. And our Bharat Mata will be humiliated, insulted in front of the world if we excel in materialism and fall down in spirituality. We are Vishwa Guru, Vishwa Aradhya. We are the ones taken as beacon lights or support by the entire Vishwa for the main reason of our own spiritual tradition, cultural tradition, and all the systems, value, the ways of life we have. We talk about Dharmartha, Kamoksha, Purushartha. We talk about the Varnashrama Vyavastha. We talk about in the Moksha Purushartha, so many ways of doing the sadhanas. So many avatars came, rishis came, munis came. They are even now there all around. What a glorious our culture. Any culture, every aspect you take. The temple culture, the Upasana cultures, then the respecting, revering the Atithis culture, the culture of respecting the nature, valuing every human being, Atiti Devo Bhava. If you look into Bharata Mata, so all these aspects, we have to just submit ourselves with awe and veneration and our own surrender. Bharata Mata is so great. So we are celebrating today our Independence Day. So our tribute to Bharat Mata, you and I are this much that the roots of Bharata Mata are called as Adhyatmikata. And for the Adhyatmikata, the roots are Vedas. And the ultimate purpose of Vedas is Vedanta. That Vedanta teaches about Brahma Tattva. That Brahma Tattva which Vedanta teaches is in Brahma Vidya. And that Brahma Vidya is called as Upanishad. We are studying Upanishad. You and I can feel that drupti or arrogance, self-respect, proud that we are truly serving our Mahabharati by studying our Upanishads. Great. We can really feel proud. We may not be doing contribution in a materialistic way. One way we can do materialistically is by reducing our demands, requirements, living in minimum things that can make great contribution economically to our nation. In many other fields, we can do respect the constitution, follow the value system, all that when we do, then real service will be there. Then every individual can have individual goal for the nation. Then a group of people can have their own goals. Total country also can have the vision like we had for the 75th year, whatever it was. Those are, matlab, जब हो जाएगा 100 years, by that time, huge vision at the national level, we can have a variety of types in that. Then one can gear up towards to achieve it. And in this way, when we keep the goal and work relentlessly that way, then everything is maintained. Glory of the nation is maintained. Our resources are properly managed. We all get integrated because it's only the nation more than religion that can integrate the people. Religion, if it's not clearly understood, divides the people. But the nation being one, if all are Desha Bhaktas, then it unites us. So that way, one second thing about is our Bharat Matas. First thing is our Bharat Matas, 75th anniversary of independence. Now, two things we have to add in this only to discuss. I will not talk many things about it because I myself am not aware of all in detail. Although in our youth age, we used to go to so many libraries and studied so many books of Ajadi and all. Beautiful those days, if I remember now. Any Saturday, Sunday used to come, or between 2 years of academics, when there used to be holidays in summer, we used to go by walk or cycle or in a bus to some libraries, the city college library, some college libraries. Then there in those beautiful places, the books of the Sardar Patels, the books of our the Tilak, the books of Gandhi, Aurobindo, all those books छोटे छोटे बड़े बड़े तगड़े तगड़े भी होते थे स्वातंत्र समर वीरों का all of them सुभाष चंद्र बोसे's किताब्स and all the लाल बाल पाल ऐसे ढूंढ कर उन बुक्स को देखकर ही एक अलग तरह का the joy and then feeling used to come those days. And take that book, sit in the library or ask for permission, take home, and we used to read the 100 pages books, the 200 pages books, all of them. I remember all those days, how they fought. Variety of things. अब इतना दिमाग में याद नहीं है. Every of them, variety of the movements the Indian freedom fighters have conducted for bringing the nation back, right from the 1757 battle. Then, after exactly 100 years, was the opposition by the soldiers, 1857, mutiny, all that. Then, the 1910, the Merit, and then started 1942, the Quit India movement. All those historical facts, when we remember, when we used to study, it was so inspirational. एक एक बंदा अपने हाथ में लेकर कुछ ना कुछ करते हुए करते Unsung heroes are hundreds and thousands. Main few heroes are being explained very good. The Bhagat Singhs and all of them wonderful. How many sacrifice their prana. Those who became heroes at the national level, their stories we remember. But how many walked at the states level, at the district level, at their own गांव level? हर एक गांव में वहाँ देशभक्त लोग थे, अलग अलग रूप में थे. The women folk were there, men were there, professionals were there, educationalists were there, all of them. That was a huge thing. Yes, at the same time of whole country working toward freedom also, there were some wretched people who were again selfish, not even an idea in them about Bharata Mata and freedom. They were busy in their own earning and bhoga. वो तो हर बार होता है. Now also, today when we are celebrating 75 years, how many people are eating and sleeping? There may be thousands. ये तो होता ही है. Now the two things I wanted to talk more are not more, only the ideas. Ki first of all, why did we lose our freedom? Where it started from? Who is the cause? Is it not? Because we all know the prevention is better than cure. Is it not? Solutions problem होने के बाद कोई भी ढूंढ के निकालेंगे. But problem हुआ क्यों? If it is always kept in mind, it will never come. Not allowing the problem to come is more greater way of living, mature way of living than allowing the problems to crop up and struggle to solve it. I believe for next 25 years, India thinks on these lines as to why we lost the freedom. Where did we go wrong? How come for more than 800 to 1000 years we were under the slavery of these wretched Rakshasas? Whether they are Mughals, all those, how much they have ruined and molested our nation at all levels. How come these people, the Dutch, the French, the small countries, they're all useless rascals? How did they come and took hold of our whole Bharata Mata? Who allowed them? What happened to us? Where was the power, the valor, all of that of ours gone at that time? क्या हुआ होगा? How come the Britishers so powerfully ruled us? Where did we lose? Of course, one is their modernization, their warfare, their all things. So everybody has the love for their life. So to protect the life, some extent surrender हुए होंगे. But how can you care the life when it is a question of whole nation? How long? How did it was allowed? Why not? Who was the responsible ones? So in all it, the simple answer is the kings, the rulers. When they become bhoga parayana, when they become selfish for themselves, when they become jealous of other kings, when they were mutually quarreling, these are the ones which brought weakness inside, which has become strength for these Rakshasas to come and occupy our Bharat Mata. You know how many thousands of temples destroyed, how many our scriptures are burnt, how many great the institutes like these Takshashilas and all of them were destroyed. How many education institutions? We had more than 3,000 institutions of the Vedic education all over the country. The Nalandas and all of them. 3,000 they were there all over the country, they say. जहां भी देखो वहीं भारतीय संस्कृति का पढ़ाना होता था. And we all know how they did the divide and rule wala. Even now also the divide and rule. And to bring down the one united party, other people are coming together to defeat her. Then when they come to power, again they divide each other only. Because the policies are different. Danger. Therefore, at the king's level as well as the praja level, there were so many of divisions, selfishnesses and egos, jealousies and the mutual quarrels which made us weaker. We have to be careful that if you truly mean business regarding a patriotism Never talk about Bharata Mata in any language of division. First we are Indians, Bharatiyas. Even before that, there is one more. We are Sanatana Dharmins. Then we are Bharatiya, national, Indian, Bharatiya. Then only you talk about different states, different languages, different cultures. Each state has language, different culture, different. True. Now, if you bring those differences onto forefront, then as a nation we can't be integrated. Again, some Rakshasas will come and occupy, or within only some Rakshasas will grow and they talk the language of separation. The Verpatuvadins, they are called. Like this, Muslim they started talking and they divided country and became Pakistani. And there then the division of this Bangladesh, आप देखो बेलूचिस्तान ये सब टूट जाएगा. Talk always about global oneness as well as the national oneness. Especially some of the states in India are, South state hai ek aadh, upar wale bhi, they have the tendency of thinking themselves to be separate. There somebody talk about Khalistan या कोई कहते हैं तमिलनाडु अपना अलग देश चाहिए. No, they have to be answered, clearly told. Not many, दो चार ही मूर्ख लोग होते हैं. And that unnecessarily prompts others also. We as a Bharata are one. Ours is spiritual goal. So, say to Himachala, say to say Himachala, we all are Rishi Parampara, Guru Parampara. We are all one nation only. So, think in the lines of why we lost the freedom and how long we suffered. All that thoda sochkar, dobara usko hone nahi dena. And the third thing which we wanted to say, which was already discussed, was how many great Desha Bhaktas have sacrificed their lives. Many sacrificed their comforts, all their personal properties for the sake of nation. And the freedom fighting is going on. कितने बार वो freedom fighters के लिए funds चाहिए थे, तो the Indians they gave. कोई अपना छोटे छोटे जो सोने के गहने थे वो भी दे दिया, कोई अपने कपड़े, कोई भी कैश खाने की चीज था. Everyone contributed. So always throughout the next 25 years, we should remember each and every of these great true Bharatiya Bhaktas and pay tribute to them, respects to them. Read their stories, make them as the textbooks to be studied, not only from the school, for the school children, but from the school children up to, and now to I feel, the stories of Bharatiya Bhaktas should be taught first to the MLAs and MPs. सो दैट उन सब में कोई भी थॉट ना आए कि अपने भारत माता का कोई भी नुकसान पहुंचाने का. फर्स्ट MLAs MP should be taught, but they are the rulers. They think they understood nation, they think they are the Desha Bhaktas. Thinking is different from being. If they truly feel so, all those luxuries, comforts, lazinesses, excuses, mutual fightings, power mongerings would not be there. They are not truly Desha Bhakta in that sense. In that sense, I am saying. They may be having. बिना देशभक्ति कोई होता नहीं. थोड़ा थोड़ा सब में होता है देशभक्ति, माता पिता भक्ति एंड धर्म भक्ति, उसमें भगवत भक्ति, सब में थोड़ा होता है. दैट एनीवे देयर. जैसे सबके अंदर खून होता है इसी तरह. But the point is not that. Study these stories of all those who sacrificed their life. Let that become the adarsh. How do you do it? You see it. And such people who are in this way true patriotic, having studied all the heroes' sacrifice and ready to give themselves a nation, select them as MLA, MP and all. Give them the powers. Let them rule the nation in such a manner that we never lose our freedom again. Now the Britishers have gone, but we are now slaves to the Bhautikavada, slaves to the corruption, slaves to the lazinesses, slaves to all the bhoga sakti. अब ये भी slavery है. We have freed ourselves from their clutches, but we are still slaves to their way of living the life from the external drishti standpoint. So a bunch of group of great people, visionaries who have seen the कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ फ्रीडम फाइटर्स, वो लोग तो जान दे दिए, हम जान नहीं देंगे, जिंदगी भर जिएंगे, पर जिंदगी का हर फल भारत माता के लिए, हर पल ऐसे लोग. So the two important things, why we lost the freedom, think about it. Second is, when we got the freedom with the sacrifice of so many people, is their sacrifice justified by us? By remembering them and whatever the dreams they felt for the great nation, are we working for it? These are the higher, greater values which alone evolve us, which alone bring all our latent talents, which alone protect us from the maya of the mind involving in the bhoga like the pashu. There is no other way. Bharata Mata, Sanatana Dharma, Paramatma. Only when these three are kept as the goal and work towards that our mind intellects can be protected from the worldliness, the vulgarities, the wretchedness, the rakshasatva or pashutva. Otherwise, there is no end to that. Okay, why did we lose freedom? How to be careful now? Then inspiration from all these people. Then live our life also. Service, renunciation. These two are our calls of the Bharat Mata. Tyaga or Seva. Like we can say, renunciation and service intensify in everybody in these two channels. The rest will take care of itself. It's a true, wonderful saying. So Bharata Mata का हमें ऐसे really tribute करना है निरंतर. I am telling you, nation, Sanatana Dharma and spirituality, Paramatma is a goal. Always should be there in our mind. How best I can contribute, how best I can make use for my own evolution. इस तरह से talk as one India. We are all Bharatiya, we are all Sanatana Dharmi. Ours is Vaidika Sanskriti. Moola roop se Paramatma is our goal. Variety of sadhanas are our means. And rishis, they are born in upper Himalayas or lower Dakshina Bharat or east or west. All have served our nation only. कोई भी ऋषि मुनि कोई भी थे, सारे भारतीय ही थे. तो इस तरह से रियली stop talking the language of difference. Don't say the North Indian, South Indian, East, West, Central. ये व्यवहार के लिए बोलो, पर उसको इतने ज़्यादा वैल्यू मत दो, लेकिन अंदर अननेसेसरली बीज बोए जाते. This revival of nationalism, the removal of the divisionism is a continuous process. एक एक जनरेशन में एक एक मूर्ख आकर लैंग्वेज और डिवीजन बात करता है. लाइक एवरी जनरेशन देयर इज ए मूर्ख ग्रुप ऑफ नास्तिकास. अब उनका मुंह बंद करा के फिर से आस्तिकता को प्रमोट करना होता ही है. Every generation, lot of Bhautikavada come. A lot of rishis, gurus, sannyasis have to come and again teach them about the Adhyatmikata. ये चलता ही रहता है. हमको हम जब तक हम हैं, along with our own professional dharma, these also are inevitable dharmas. We have to accept and keep on doing. ये खत्म नहीं होता. Human evolution will not end unless he is a Parabrahma. Other than that, everything will have to be repeatedly taken care. Like freedom we got, but again another problem of poverty. Poverty we sorted out, but the corruptions are growing, the immoralities are going, the ethics are going away. See, in the bargain of all that, we are becoming richer, but what about our spiritual glory? उसको फिर से बैलेंस करना है. एक एक चीज बिगड़ता रहता है, उसको फिर से बैलेंस करते जाना. And every period of history of any nation, in that 100 years of time, कुछ चीज बिगड़ता है, उसको खड़ा करना पड़ता है. और 100 साल में और एक. In this way, our job is ourselves standing stronger and making our entire nation stand stronger all the time. And that we do when the roots of the nation we understand, we stick to them, we follow them. तभी होगा नहीं तो. So आजादी का अमृतोत्सव में हम भारत माता को प्रणाम करते हैं. So you can see all these 13-14 flags behind. All our devatas are holding flag in their hands now. Vande Bharata MAATHARAM. So today's first thought is one, that. Now the second thought of the day, now after coming from our salutations to Mahabharati, भगवान कुत्ता बिल्ली कुछ भी बनाओ, लेकिन भारत माता में हमको जन्म ले। कीड़ा मकोड़ा चलेगा, बट इन इंडिया सांप बनाएंगे आपको, ठीक है सांप बनाओ, बट भारत माता, ह्यूमन बीइंग, इट इज भारत में सनातन धर्म ओनली। Take all the costs required for an India, an Indian as a Sanatana Dharmi, pursuing only Parabrahma with devotion at your feet and feet of Rishimuni Parampara and Shastra. Give us only this again and again. We have tasted it and we are very fully faithful. There cannot be anything greater than this. Having this way done the salutation to our Bharata Mata, now the second topic of our study. Now we come to our everyday's class of Upanishad. What is it? For the Upanishad beginning also, there is one introduction today. The introduction is what? Ki, just like we spoke about the nation, in the life also, ki no activities stop. We cannot stop them also. Of our duties, of our responsibilities, of our management, of our maintenances, they will be behind us throughout our life. कुछ भी नहीं रुकेगा, चलता ही रहेगा, चलता ही रहेगा. You can't leave any activity. But the main point is, in and through them only, we have to learn the art and knack of finding time, finding mind, finding conveniences for our spiritual listening, spiritual study, spiritual sadhana also. You can never wait for the waves to subside in a river that I can take bath. ऐसा करके. No. Waves will never stop. They'll go on happening. You have to negotiate with the waves existing. Then you have to take bath protecting yourself. This is the only way we can do, because waves never stop. In the same way, the waves of happening in life never stop. Our duties never end in the world. Our responsibilities never end in the world. Our obligations never end in the world. Our variety of services never in the world. Then if we say ये सब होने के बाद मैं स्पिरिचुअलिटी करूंगा, ये कभी नहीं होता है. In and through only we have to find time. In and through all of that only we have to find our mind. In and through that only we have to create our schedule in such a way that our listening, Shravanam, our study and Mananam at home, and our sadhanas, whatever we are selecting, we are given to the Guru, we have to, like you people do. Every festival last 2 years is coming. Every functions are happening in your families and all. Vigorously you are traveling also, and yet you are the masters in this way, taking the time for the classes regularly. Others, those who could not do, they were carried away in those activities. That became a habit now. Again, from their life, the most beautiful fortune called as listening to Upanishads gone away. But you, few of you, you are learning the art of managing. Is it not? If it's not learned, then the other things as we mentioned so far overpower our mind so much कि हम उसी के पीछे बढ़ते रहेंगे. अब luckily for you and me, some of us are about 60, about 70, about 80 years. Are there any works ending? Any calls of the society ending? Any of the mind's outer urges are ending? नहीं हो रहे वो. ऐसा ही नहीं, इतने भी जन्म जिए, like the Raja Yati, 2000 years he lived. Bhagwan Rama, 11,000 years he lived. Lakhs of years we may live, but the duties, the indulgence, they won't end. We have to negotiate through them only, take out our time for ourselves. कभी भी ऐसा मत सोचना खत्म हो जाएगा. Then as the age grows, we have to become very miser in our time as well as resources to conserve them from unnecessary wastage and use it only for sadhana. We cannot squander away those valuable moments. At least after 60, 62 years age, एक एक दिन हमारा कीमती है सिर्फ परमात्मा को प्राप्ति के लिए. अतः बाकी चीजें उसका एंड नहीं होता. If you go on going, people keep on calling only. If you go on doing business, you will see that there are a lot of places opportunity for you to do. करते जाओगे तो फिर पल में पर लगी होएगी बोरी करोगे कब. Then when will you do your main spiritual sadhana? काल करे सो आज करे सो मीन्स इन वन पल परलय हो जाएगा. तो जो करने वाली चीजें वो फिर कब करोगे? Okay, at the activities level, I am saying they won't end. So you have to follow them. But like you people are doing the class, same way continue taking time, managing yourself for your own study. एक बात. Second is what most important about the mind also. Mind also victim of our own vasana sinner. Mind is victim, self-victim of its own nature. Victimized by the senses, our poor mind. Always we fight with the mind, scold the mind, say the mind as enemy. तो मैं तो कहता हूँ ऐसी बात नहीं है, बेचारो एक लाचार है वो. Our senses are lachar, our body, they're all such an innocent gifts given by the God. We have not understood their value importances. We have never tried to learn to manage them, love them. That is why we only spoiled them. Thus, today they have become liability to us. प्लीज आज इंडिपेंडेंस डे से अपने देह को प्यार करना शुरू करो इन अ डिफरेंट मैनर. Protect it, give it proper rest, give proper food, keep it healthy, and fulfill its health in using it for sadhana. अपने इंद्रियों को रेस्पेक्ट करो, लव देम. They are mutually mutilated, misused, and abused so badly. So far, by excessive indulgences and not care given. No. Love, respect those indriyas. Value them. That's the meaning of control. Control is not feeling that these are all enemies and all, like every time the Vedanti speaks, मन तुम्हारा दुश्मन है, इंद्रियां तुम्हारे दुश्मन है, देह तुम्हारा दुश्मन है. Why are always like that? They are दुश्मन है तो छोड़ के दिखाओ. नहीं जोड़ सकते. They are not दुश्मन. They are the most beautiful divine gifts Bhagwan has given us, whether we deserve or not. We have learned either the art of abusing them or the art of hating or fighting with them. We should learn the art of using them and be friendly with them. Love them, respect them. My indriyas they are. Supporting films are such so many decades of life. I must value them. I must give them what they need in a proper manner and quantity and guide them towards again the main goal of spirituality. Okay? The third one is important with which we started the topic. Our own mana. Love the mind. Respect the mind. What a beautiful resource it is. If the mind is not there, can I talk to you? Can you listen to me? Can any of the vyavahara in the world is possible without the mana? Any of the perception, is it possible? Any of the response, is it possible? Nothing. कोई भी चीज बिना मन का हो ही नहीं सकता. ऐसे मन को भी हम आज से प्यार करें, प्रेम करें. I told you it is a victim of the senses. It is a victim of its own nature of sankalpa vikalpa. It is victimized by the corrupt buddhi, misguided by the others. The again final victim is mana only because of the vasanas. अब ऐसे 5 तरह से धक्का खाने वाले मन को हम स्पिरिचुअलिटी में लाना चाहते हैं. उसको पसंद है लेकिन उसको कितना दिक्कत होता है वो समझो. Mind wants to become spiritual, but then it has so many limitations. Therefore, tame it, tap it, love it, encourage it. Don't worry, neither give your mana to someone nor worry about somebody's mana. Now mind your mind. Never mind anything else now. मेरा मन है, मेरे वृत्तियां हैं. ये इन इन चीजों से इस तरह के विक्टिमाइज हो रहे हैं. उन विषयों को मैं हटाऊंगा, ये पॉजिटिव वाला ले आऊंगा. The ultimate positive is spiritual, but before that, at the level of values also, let our mind be encouraged in them. Given a chance, given a time, then the mind becomes healthy. It feels so happy for itself, with itself. And more important thing is what? कि the mana will definitely have, as I told you, its own weaknesses, temptations, है ना? उनमें से नेगोशिएट करते हुए ही सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात, मन को बचाते रहना, मन के अंदर के सत्व गुण को बचाते रहना, मन के अंदर का जो इनिशिएटिव मिल चुका है स्पिरिचुअलिटी का, उसको बचाते रहना. Is it not? And you and I know, and more than me, you people, I really feel so much for you all. I pity you also, I respect you, love you also. You go to the world and you are involved in the world with all the honesty, but the people of the world need not be so good. They disturb your mind. And with that disturbed mind because of the people's troubling, and your own mind disturbed because it has to involve in the world, again you come and sit in the class to innocently listen to this sublime subject. Actually आप तो कोई भगत सिंह, आजाद, चंद्रशेखर, रानी रुद्रम देवी से कम नहीं हो. Because every person you give importance, every project activity you do, it is disturbing the mind. With that disturbed mind, it is impossible even to desire to come to class. Because लोगों को तो इतना थक गए, जाएंगे, खाएंगे, टीवी देंगे, सोएंगे, ऐसे ख्याल आते हैं. अब उसका त्याग करके एक तरफ, दूसरी तरफ maintaining, negotiating with every obligations of the day. Third, you are coming to the class and all the classes and regularly listening. मैं तो कहता हूँ आप लोग तो रियल भारत रत्न हो मेरे लिए. How much you are struggling at your mind level, I can really feel. I sympathize. I love you. I pray to God, Gurudev, to minimize your tensions, stresses, and strains that are coming onto the mind from various inner and outer resources, so that the mind remains always protected, always healthy. All there is in that vigor and vitality and vibration, always in the Shuddha Sattva Guna, to be able to grasp the Upanishads sublime theme and get inspired to do that sadhana and live that noble spiritual scriptural life. तो आज के दिन के इंट्रोडक्शन में ये भी है, मन को प्रेम करो, मन को बचाते रहना फ्रॉम द अटैक ऑफ द इनर अटैक्स ऑफ काम क्रोध एंड आउटर अटैक्स ऑफ द विषयास एंड व्यक्तिस हु क्रिएट अगेन इनर काम क्रोध. अब से देखो, कोई बंदे को, वस्तु, व्यक्ति को इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं देना, अपने मन को देना. इफ यू गिव इंपॉर्टेंस टू देम, दे विल एंटर द माइंड एंड डिस्ट्रॉय योर माइंड. That doesn't mean you run away from people. You cut off all relations. No. Maintain that subtle psychological distance by which you are involving in whatever required. Same time, nothing is entering the mind to corrupt the mind's peace. It's tuning to शास्त्र जो बन रहा है, उसको करप्ट ना करने देवे, उसको इन्फेक्ट ना करने देवे, ऐसा रक्षा करना. This is the greatest tribute we do give to our own mind. Then only that mind will cooperate us in our other subtle sadhanas. अब उसको इतना दुनिया में विदाउट थिंकिंग खराब करके कहते हो अब मेडिटेट कर, और माइंड कह रही है तुमने तो मेरे को बिगाड़ा, अब कहते हो बैठो ध्यान में. यार जब ध्यान में बैठने की इच्छा है, मेरे से ही होगा ध्यान तुम्हारा, और मुझे जो बाहर यूज करते हो तो थोड़ा प्रोटेक्ट करो ना मुझे. दिस इज द दुख ऑफ द mana, which has no mouth to say, but this is the way it expresses when on the seat of meditation, when we want to do meditation or japa, millions of thoughts they disturb us. That a cry of the mind which says in your vyavahara kala, you are not minded me, you are neglected me. Now that me who neglected can't but trouble you when you sit for meditation. तुमने मेरे को ऐसे बनाया, ऐसा मन का पुकार है सुनना. हम मन को एड्रेस करते रहते हैं. You know, there are very many places where the mind is addressed. Why? Before addressing, उसकी भी बात सुनो. वो तुम्हारा खुद का है, तो क्यों उसको डिस्टर्ब, मेडिटेशन में इतना वो डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है वो. And you fight with it there and we say, my useless man, we say. How dare we say it? Mana is Bhagavad Swarupa. Bhagavan only comes as a mind to give us various sadhanas to enjoy him, to reach him. We have not properly, like the glorious Bharat Mata, we have not recognized nation's glory. Then we allowed it to be captured by all the Britishers, Mughal Rakshasas. Then we made our mother suffers so much, Bharata Mata. Same way our own mana. So today's thought is what? All our resources of Deha, Prana, Indriyas, Mana, we have to love them, we have to respect them, we have to value them, bachana. ये नया thought आज इसलिए क्यों दिया जा रहा है? Because even on the name of service also, when you are becoming extroverted with your mana, other than disappointment, we are not getting anything. People are not recognizing your love. They are not recognizing your honesty, your service. Do it without selfishness. Learn that art. If you can't do, then don't involve and disturb your mind. मन को रक्षा करो बस. किसी बंदे को जाकर हेल्प करोगे, करो ऐसा सोचकर कि बिना कुछ एक्सपेक्ट किए, so that the mind remains peaceful. If you expect the response from others, they will not give you. You will be disturbed at your mind level. Therefore, don't go. Sit at home, take Bhagwan's name. That is better. Our minds are so sacred, so worthy of giving us the highest meditations and contemplations. We are spoiling it every moment. So, आज भारत माता का ये अमृतोत्सव स्वतंत्रता दिवस का we take this commitment. We love our deha, we love our prana, we love our indriyas and mana, and finally, we also love our buddhi. Don't misuse it for finding faults with others, to destroy others, to defeat others. These are all enough of it is done. Let us learn the art of loving and rightly using the buddhi in finding the reasons to love others, to finding reasons to forgive others. And for forgive, there's no reason required. You just like it. For love, also, no reason required. Then let the buddhi become sharpened to unite, to bring oneness. Let the buddhi be used to go beyond the stula sukshma karana and recognize that truth which is supporting everything. इस तरह से बुद्धि को भी मर्यादा रेस्पेक्ट देना, मन को भी देना, समझना उनके खुद के जो समस्याएं हैं. Is it not? And we are all in the Kali Yuga. How powerful this Yuga Prabhav. कितना मुश्किल हो रहा है इससे बचने के लिए. Is it not? बहुत मुश्किल है. साधु सन्यासियों को they have to fight out, struggle. कोई केयर नहीं करते हैं उनको. If they are पक्का वैरागी type है तो that is nothing like that. Nobody can disturb it. But those who come to the world to serve and all, Maya is affecting everyone. So in this way, today, first we did our Janagadamana Adhinayaka Jaya He, along with our Upanishadic chantings and all. Then when it came to Vande Bharata Mataram, we spoke about what are the roots of our nation, which we have to water. We discussed it very long, at lengthy, that ours is spiritual only. Then we talked about these two very important aspects. One, why we lost our freedom. Keep those reasons in mind, never it should happen again. Then let everyone, including me, study regularly the stories of the great freedom fighters. They may not be highly spiritually evolved. Their goal may not be Paramatma, but they had some goal. To that goal, they have sacrificed their life itself. That will be inspiration for us. So we also sacrifice our life for the chosen noble goal. And the goal for us is spirituality. Read their lives. देश के लिए पूरा प्राण त्याग कर दिया उन्होंने. This was the topic we discussed, and then of late we were talking about the Deha, Prana, Mana, Indriya Ityadi. They have to be duly valued and respected. Let us love them, let us value them. And as we grow older, give that body proper rest along with gratitude to it. You helped me to stay for such a long time. Thank you, Deha. When it is suffering, give it some rest. देह जड़ है, ये ऐसे पंच महाभूतों से बना है. That also is one class. The other place is what? One side through bhoga we destroy. Other side on the name of discipline we don't give what is required. That also is destruction. भगवान तो कहते हैं जो लोग देह को कर्षण करते रहते हैं, by not giving it proper food or rest, they are called a asura. कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्रामम् अचेतसः मां चैवान्त शरीरस्थं तान विद्धि असुर निश्चयान. टॉर्चर नहीं करना. Even giving excessive bhoga also is the torture that we give. Some people give the extreme, the other torture. प्यार करना. I can see Puja Gurudev. He loved his body. That's how he maintained it. Therefore, he could look like a gigantic rishi of our past ancient time. And with that, he served the world. So wonderful. He loved her. He took care of body. He never said, मैं देह नहीं हूँ, मैं आत्मा हूँ, इसलिए I will not take medicine. No. Every day, without when he had his BP sugar tablets. All other things required medication, treatment, surgeries. He never said, no, I belong to Hinduism, I don't believe in surgery. अरे चलिए surgery तो किया है चरक and सुश्रुता. He never went for that. He wonderful. He took care of the, he gave it required comforts. Then the body also did not fight with him. It allowed to cooperate. It cooperated with him. Otherwise, if you fight with the body, it will react. Then you can't make use of it to do the work. मॉर्निंग 3 o'clock उठकर 9-10 बाल्टी पानी गुरुदेव नहाते थे. You know that he used to revel in that way. Then applying chandanam and all, vibhuti and all that. Not bhoga, please remember. Respecting the it because इसमें भगवान शिव बैठे हैं. ये मंदिर है. देहो देवालय प्रोक्त जीवो देन सनातन. He never tortured his deha on the name of upavasa ityadi. Also never tortured with too much of eating. See that love to the deha. So to the senses, so to the mana, buddhi. ये सारे संतों से हमको सूक्ष्म सा से सीखना है. Because they are the only ones which are with me. Are you in my hands or is my body and senses in my hands? पहले तो मेरा मन, senses, body मेरे हाथ में है. आप थोड़ी हो. तो मुझे पहले इनका ख्याल रखना है. Not you. You will leave me. They will not leave me till I am last moment. Is it not? So that's how that also becomes an important thing in our today's thought. We discussed about it. Now, the third thing I wanted to talk is about what we have seen as a bird's eye view in our Taittiriya Upanishad so far. Because almost we spent 3 months of time. Around those many days we are going on seeing भाष्य के साथ repeat करते हुए बार बार. So far we are in the first Valli, Siksha Valli only. And the entire Siksha Valli is Upasana Pradhanam. So all the definitions of Upasana word given, you have to recollect and remember them. It is your homework. A hint one or two what I give is Upasana is being alert. Upasana is being alert about what is happening around. Upasana is alert about what is the influence of what is happening around us on us. Then the Upasana is becoming aware of what is my role. In my own sustenance, I have to do what is my role I have to play for my own sustenance, and what is my role as a contributor to the total. These are all the Upasanas. And finally, keeping the ultimate goal in mind, remembering that all the time, and all these activities gearing towards that is called Upasana. So today onwards, or right the day of study of Upanishad, we have to decide our identity as we are all Upasaka. We are not a lazy fellow, we are not a bhogi, we are not a careless person of doing things without knowledge or half informed. Upasaka matlab janta hai, like he knows it's a temple. Pujari, who is an upasaka. He knows Bhagwan ki murti hai. He knows all the things that are there. He does all of them. There, all the things are dravya, jada. Remember that. But he is the upasaka. Therefore, because of he himself upasaka, he sees all of them as a divine things and he utilizes them for service. That becomes upasana. So the whole world is Jada for me, but Jada in general. But I becoming Upasaka, I should use the whole worldly things only for to do the Upasana Paramatma. Clear? उपासना मीन्स मेहनत करके जो हमें करना है या जो हमें दिया है उसको सही यूज करने में हमें एस्टैब्लिश होना है. Anybody is upasaka in this world, positive or negative. And a goal is seen or understood or aspired for or accepted, working toward that is upasana. लक्ष्य के प्रति आगे बढ़ने को उपासना कहते हैं. Simple definition. Taking some goal and walking towards is that upasana. It's a professional upasanas are there, the skills upasanas are there, the upasanas of the arts are there. The music is an upasana, singing is an upasana, the instrumentalism is an upasana, the natak seeker, stage play karna, it's an upasana, poetry is an upasana. Everything, the doctor, the lawyer, the engineers, all have learned and are serving the nation, they're all doing upasana only. Yes, scavenger is a upasaka. He is cleaning the roads for us. A Maestri is an upasaka. A coolie is an upasaka. In a railway station, they are the every day they carry so much of luggage. It's upasaka. Laksha uske prati aage badhna, upasaka. Therefore, the other opposite of it is what? There is no goal substantial. There were no working towards a goal. Then taking only indulgence through senses as means or goal, they are called as samsari. So samsari से साधक बनना है. Sadhaka means upasaka. Upasaka means have a goal and working towards it. Okay. So in this, so far we have seen the 8 anuvakas. Each of them spoke to us the aspiration or the ambition, the goal, and told us to do the upasana. So do as a homework a refreshing of all of that. Feel for yourself whether it is caught by us at least little or not. I felt like today explaining all that, but the time is covered. So if required, if I feel like, tomorrow we discuss it, but left to your wisdom because you are wise enough to know what was taught so far. You browse through the book, original, even without Bhashya, you get an idea. If you have the Bhashya also and go through it, you know. Like Shanno Mitraha is an Upasana. Make a list of each of the god and what we have to ask from them. And remember this mantra, chant it and express those demands from them. Shamno Mitra Sham Varuna is an upasana. Then the need, yesterday evening also we spoke a little bit about this, the need of learning the bhasha and vyakaranam, language with the grammar. Shiksham Vyakya Syamaha, all of that, Varna, Swara, Matra, Balam, Sama, Santana, all the 6 are important. थोड़ा सा उसका भी उपासना करना है. Even if you do regularly chanting of Bhagavad Ramayana Gita, you are doing little of Shiksha Adhyaya Upasana. The minimum. Little more means going through some of the Sanskrit classes going on in TV. उसमें से कम से थोड़ा सीखना है. I give you an idea. How you learned whatever language you learned. Remember those. Your mother tongue you might have learned. You might have learned English, Hindi. बिना पढ़े सीखे तो नहीं आया ना. Same scheme is also there for Sanskrit also. Like English. I learned English. How? First alphabets. So too, Sanskrit, there are alphabets. Varnamala, Swara, Vyanjana. Then I learned English by clubbing the word letters, alphabet, made words. अक्षरों को जोड़कर शब्द बनाया. Then here also, from the akshara, the shabdas are learned. Then some months time is spent only on shabda. Then शब्दों को जोड़कर यहाँ sentences बनाए. There also जोड़ो the शब्द, then become sentences. Is it not? This is the first basic thing. Okay. In that, the aksharas are added with all the, the consonants are added with all the vowels. Ka, a, ka, i, ki, ka, u, ku, हाँ, क ए के क आई काई, ये सारे भी वहां जाते हैं. All those aksharas, their pronunciations are one step. Second step is what? How you further developed your language. The most important, the grammar started. After this is language. Aksharas, pada, and vakya nirmana is called as the language. Now the grammar, in which so many things you learned. The vachana you learned, isn't it? Then the cases you learned, the persons you have learned, the kala you learned, is it not? The seven cases you studied. Then the past, present, future tenses we studied. Then first person, second person, third person we studied. Then singular, dual, plural we learned. Same here also. Sapta vibhaktis are there. Then ekavachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana are there. Then bhuvadda, bhavishyat, vartamana kala are there. Then prathama purusha, madhyama purusha, prathama purusha, madhyama purusha, uttama purusha are there. Same. Then in English, thereafter vocabulary. Here also the padajala, the dhatu pada. Then there is in English grammar of the variety of the tenses and articles. सब इधर भी वह छंदस आ जाएगा. You understand? The sandhi rules are there, samasa rules are there. All of that 3-4 महीने लगा दो आ जाएगा. So we are doing शिक्षाध्याय. शिक्षाध्याय में भाषा का उपासना विथ ग्रामर. बढ़िया है, करो. When you and I are going to stay in an ashram sometime, मस्ती में we'll do every day half an hour of grammar classes. So that in a year's time, little the fear goes away. और ग्रामर कभी भी ना जितना आप उसको लगातार टच में रहो याद रहेगा. नहीं तो योर ओन मदर टंग आल्सो यू आर स्पीकिंग बट द मोस्ट ऑफ यू फॉरगॉटन द ग्रामर. मैं तो भूल गया बिकॉज उसको टच में नहीं है, भाषा यूज कर रहे, टच में रहना पड़ता है. बाय द वे, सो दिस इज व्हाट वी सा लिटिल बिट अबाउट शिक्षाध्याय. देन वी वर टॉट अबाउट संहिता उपनिषदु, संधि upasana. 5 adhikaranas were told to us. Each these adhikaranas are there in the world functional, supporting the total world. And here onwards we started introducing someone other than the individual things who is working through all of them. And him we call as Mahat Brahma or Hiranyagarbha. His upasana we are doing by doing the upasana of the sandhi or samasa rules through this Samhita Upanishad. What it is, and the further later on also. तो 3-3, 4-4 मिनट थोड़ा सा एक बार हम याद करेंगे कल. Okay, then we'll enter into the Navama Anuvaka, which is again a very sublime thing, which tells us that just because you are studying Upanishads and Swami is telling you to become spiritual, don't think that the karma kanda, the dharma which has to be done at every day home or office world में, that can be compromised. Never. That's what actually the thought also today. You can never give up what you are supposed to do every day for the sake of spirituality. At the same time, you can't involve in the thing so much that spirituality is totally forgotten. Both of them have to complement each other, go together. You know, like wife and husband. They go together throughout life, along with their own individual egos, individual clashes happening with each other every moment. जो ना एक दूसरे से अलग होना बहुत आसान है, बट अलग नहीं होते हैं, कट्टे रहते हैं. अब कट्टे रहते हैं तो ईगो क्लैश के बिना हो ही नहीं सकता. एवरी मोमेंट इट हैपेंस, दे आर दैट सो मेड फॉर ईच अदर. एंड सेम ऑफ देम, इफ वन ऑफ देम सफर द अदर बिकम सो सेंसिटिव. दे क्राई मोर देन एनीबॉडी नेचुरली. वेरी सिनेमाओं में दिखाया जाता है कि प्यार से रहेंगे पति पति, नहीं होता. Their egos, their likes and dislikes, their situations, their other priorities become cause of clashes. But by that, are you leaving and going away separated? No. So too with a guru and disciple. The clashes will be there. Ego gets hurt. I get hurt because of some of you for some reasons, whether you know it or not. But I'm not stopping the classes. So too, you also must be feeling throughout the classes for various reasons which are in your my control or not control. हो सकता है आपको भी कुछ चिंता हुई होगी, but you are not leaving the class. In the same way, you cannot leave spirituality for indulging in Vyavahara. You cannot give up your daily routines, duties because you are starting to do peace spiritual. That topic is the theme of the Navama Skandha, Navama Anuvaka, with some more thoughts added to it. We are going to study tomorrow. It may take one day, maybe 2 दिन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लगे तो. Okay. Now today we have to start it. इसलिए we do the parayana of it. Though the explanation cannot be given. Tomorrow the summary of what is done so far in the 1 minute maximum. Then we do the Sambandha Bhashya given by Shankara Bhagwan for this Navamanuvaka, then the study of it will be done. पहले तो chanting करते आज, though we chanted it in the part of Parayana, again we chant it because in today's class नया कुछ तो पढ़ना है इसलिए start. ओम अथ नवमोनुवाकः ऋतं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च तपश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च दमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च शमश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्नयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अग्निहोत्रं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च अतिथयश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च मानुषं च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजा च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजनश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च प्रजातिश्च स्वाध्याय प्रवचने च सत्यमिति सत्यवचाराधीतरः तप इति तपो नित्यः पौरुषिष्टिः स्वाध्याय प्रवचने एवेति नाको मौद्गल्यः तद्धि तपस्तद्धि तपः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Okay, we'll do our pranava mantra japa for 18 times and conclude the class today. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarshibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shruti Namaha Vedavyasa Vaishampayane Yajnavalkyadirishibhyo Namaha Adya Shankara Sadgurave Namaha Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you, friends. We'll study little only, not much, of our Viduraniti.